Hello everyone, welcome back to Placement Prep. Today we are going to discuss MySQL Union and Union All. Starting with the Union, this is used to combine the result of two or more select statements, removing duplicates. Then the next condition is each select must have same number of columns. Then the third condition is the selected columns of each select statement must be of same data type and must be in same order. Let's discuss all these conditions with some example. For example, there is one customer table, that is customer 1, and another table with the name customer 2. Suppose from the first table we are writing select asterisk from customer 1. What does this mean? Select asterisk means we want to display all the records, like all the columns of the table customer 1. That is select asterisk from customer 1. What does this will display? Like only this one, select asterisk from customer 1. It will display all the columns and all the records, like all the records of this customer 1 table. Now then select asterisk from customer 2. From this table, when we are displaying select asterisk from customer 2, this will asterisk means we want to display all the columns of the column like customer 2 also. So it will display all the records of this table also. When we are writing union in between these two select, what this will do? The first condition is it will combine the result, removing the duplicate. This union will combine the result of both the select, removing the duplicates value. Then the second condition is each select must have same number of columns. For example, in the first select, how many number of columns are there? We are selecting select asterisk, means we are selecting all the columns of customer 1. So in customer 1 table, how many number of columns are there? 2 columns are there. And in customer in customer 2, that is the custom table 2, also 2 columns are there. So condition 2 also satisfies, that is each table must have same number of columns. Here also 2 number of columns, here also 2 number of columns. So the second condition satisfies. Then the third condition is the selected columns of each select statement must be of same data type. For example, here the cust ID is of data type, so the second select of the second select should contain the same column name with the same data type. For example, in the first select, the first column is like select asterisk from customer 1. Asterisk means the first column is cust ID. If we are not writing asterisk here, we will simply write select cust ID comma cust city from customer 1. So whatever we are writing from in the first select, in the second select also we will write the same thing in the same order, same data type. For example, this in the first select we are writing cust ID, we are bound to write cust ID of the same data type in the second select also. Then we are writing cust city in the first select, then we are bound to write cust city in the second select also. Like in the same order, same data type, we are bound to write everything in both the select. This means that like the selected columns of each select statement must be of same data type and must be in same order. For example, instead of writing asterisk, we want to write like we want to mention every column. So what will we do? We will write like cust ID comma cust city from customer 1, like select cust ID comma cust city from customer 1. And if we are writing select, instead of writing cust id first, if we want to write cust city then cust id, then it will throw error, because in what order we are writing in the first select, in the second select also we will write in the same order, same data type. Like in the first select, the first one is cust id, second should be of cust id of same data type. If in the second select, the second column is cust city, in the second select we should write the cust city of the same data type. I hope you are clear about all these three, like what is the meaning, like what union will do. Now after satisfying this condition, this will like simply remove the duplicate. For example, in the customer 1, this will display this table itself, cause we are writing select asterisk from customer 1, means it will simply display the whole table. Here in the cust id column 1 2 3 is there, and in the second select it will also display the whole table 1 5 6 is there. So 1 is repeated 2 times, so union will simply discard this one, like in the cust id column, like in the output section, there will be two column, that is cust id and cust city. And in the cust id column 1 2 3, then 5 6, one will not get repeated again. Likewise in the customer city, London, Mumbai, Bangalore, and this London will be discarded, like London, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi. So the output section, there will be one cust id column and one cust city column. In the cust id column there will be 1 2 3 5 6, and in the cust city column there will be London, Mumbai, Bangalore, then Hyderabad, Delhi. I hope you are clear about the union. Now this is the output of the first union, that is in the cust id column 1 2 3, and after that again one was there, so it will remove that one, then 5 6. And in the cust city column London, Mumbai, Bangalore, again London was there, so it will discard that London again, then Hyderabad, Delhi. This is the table. Now moving ahead to union all. Union all will combine the result of two or more select with the duplicate value. Like in the union, it is combining the result by discarding the duplicate value, but here the union all is combining the result of two or more select with the duplicate value. For example, the same table, that customer 1 table, customer 2 table, having cust id column, then city column, then cust id column and city column. Suppose in the first select we are writing select city from customer 1, and in the from customer 1 table we are selecting select city. And in the customer 2 table we are like selecting the same thing, cause it must be of it must contain the same number of column, that is of same data type and in same order. So if we are selecting here city, then in the second select also we can't select cust id. If in the first select we are selecting city, in the second select we can't select like cust id, because it will change, like it is not of the same data type. City is different data type and cust id is different data type. So whatever we are doing in the first select, in the second select we will follow the same pattern, like same column name, same data type, same pattern, exactly of the same select, like exactly the both the select will look like the same. So in the second select, select city from customer 2. In the second select also we are selecting the city, so, and we are writing union all in between them. So the output of this first select like London, Mumbai, Bangalore, and the second select is London, Hyderabad, Delhi. Now the union all will not discard the duplicate value. Here London is getting repeated in both the select. So the output will be London, Mumbai, Bangalore, then again London, Hyderabad, Delhi. I hope you are clear about the union and union all. Now moving ahead, what is the difference between distinct and the unique constraint? Distinct, as we have already discussed in our tutorial, distinct is used to remove the duplicate value from the result set. For example, there is one customer table and we want to display all the state from where the different customers belong to. So what will we write? That is select distinct state from customer. If here we are not writing distinct, there can be different customers staying in the same city. So the same city will get repeated again and again. That's why we are writing distinct, so that it will discard the duplicate record and will display the unique record. That is from this output, that is from this query, that is select distinct state from customer, it will discard the duplicate state, that is Karnataka is getting repeated, so it will display only one time Karnataka, then Odisha, the output. Now moving ahead to unique. Unique ensures that all the values in the column are unique, like all the values in a selected columns are unique. Like for example, take an example of this column, like this column, that is ID. Here all the values are unique. So how could we specify like all the values could be unique? That is, the syntax is, suppose that we are creating one table, that is create table, table name, then within round bracket we are specifying the column 1, that is ID, then the data type is int and it shouldn't be a null value, then comma, the second column, that is first name, then int, that is the data type is varchar, the size is 220, then comma, the third column, that is age, the data type is int. After that comma we are specifying unique id, the id must be unique. Here we are specifying don't enter any duplicate value in the id column. Like while entering, like here we are creating the table. At the time of inserting value in the table, if we are inserting any duplicate value in the id, it will throw error, cause here we have written, like here we have mentioned id should be unique. This will ensure that all the values in the column are unique. I hope you are clear about the distinct and unique. Distinct will simply discard the duplicate record. If there is any duplicate record in the result set, it will discard and will print the unique record. But unique will ensure all the record in that selected column must be unique. We have to, like while creating the table, we have to mention that like id should be unique, so that at the time of inserting value in the table, that is employee, we are here we have mentioned the id should be unique, so it will not accept any duplicate value in the id column. I hope you are clear about the difference between distinct and unique constraint. So if you like this video, please do subscribe to Placement Prep. Thank you. Have a good day.